What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Bronco build. And you guys can see the front end's all taken apart now because we're doing the radiator support swap. If you did not see last week's video of us taking it apart, that video is really kind of going to give you most of the information that you need to put it back together. I'm kind of going to go over a couple of things how to put it back together, but I'm not going to like show the entire whole process, because if I was going to do that, I could pretty much just upload last week's video but put it in reverse and you'd get all that information. So I'll show you things like putting in the body bushings for the front, your new body bushings if you got new body bushings, and anything else that might be specific to putting it back together that I didn't show in last week's video. But just real quick, I want to show you guys, in case you didn't see last week's video, or if this is the first video you've seen, we did pull out the old radiator support last week, and it is yeah, probably one of the worst that I've seen. It's pretty bad. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today, and probably tomorrow as well, is put the new radiator support back into the Bronco. So yeah, we're gonna go get the new radiator support and we will pick up where we left off last week. Also, just a little side note, you guys remember I put this exhaust tip thing on like 2 weeks ago, and I welded the I kind of welded a little hanger right there and up to the top there. Well, yeah, that broke. This truck is going to hit 70,000 miles soon. It's got 69,995. So probably in like, I don't know, maybe another week it'll be at 70,000. So I don't know. When I first bought this truck, it had 40,000 or so. I think I had 49, 59, 69, 79, or 40. I've only put 20,000 miles on this truck in the last 4 years. Yeah, that's something. Also, just a quick little side note, if you guys are watching this channel for the first time, or if you're one of the people, one of the 87% of people that clicked on this video that are not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you keep watching my stuff but you don't subscribe, I don't know. But anyway, this is the new radiator support. We got it painted. I tell you what, these things are a real pain in the ass to sand down, because like on the back side where all these little, like, I don't know, rivet things are, like, it's really sharp. So I you know, cut the hell out of my hands with all these little rivet things on the back side. They were like really pointy. But yeah, that's the new one. Feels like Survivor Man having to go back and get my camera because I don't have a camera crew. Oh, look at all the ducks. All right, you can see we've got the new one and the old one here. So the first thing that we got to do is take, oh no, this one's not going to work anymore, all right, because I had to cut it because it was, you know, just freaking trash. But there's all these little clips, all right, like that one's still good. These have got to come off and get put onto the new one. And there's a bunch of other clips up around the top here. All right, so we've got these ones here in for the you know, hooking the radiator back up to this. Also, don't forget to put these in, these little rubber things. Mine's kind of deformed a little bit, but yeah, don't forget to put those in because your radiator's got to sit on top of those. So you guys remember last time I had some issues with this this body mount bushing. I'm just gonna cut it off. I cut the other one off as well, but because I don't really need any of this stuff, this old bushing and everything, because I got new ones, but the bolt just, you know, wouldn't come out. So, but anyway, what I noticed is that this is all rotted and cracked all underneath there. So I'm gonna have to weld that and fix that before I put the new radiator support and the new bushings and everything back in. And well, the welder is way down at the garage, and I can't exactly drive this thing with the, you know, everything hanging out like that. So I'm just gonna pull it. I got all my parts all loaded up, so I guess I'll pull it down to the garage and do that. Yeah, as you can see what it's supposed to look like, and what that one looks like. It kind of made it a little bit worse, honestly, getting that out. As you can see, it all came out in one freaking piece. So now I gotta try to fix that. It's really, like, really not sturdy at all, because we're missing this whole piece right here is just completely rotted off, as you can see. So actually it's still kind of there, but it's really, really thin. So I just got to try to rebuild that section, I suppose. So I just had to go charge my camera, but while I was charging it, I took this piece of angle iron, all right, cut myself a nice piece, and I ended up tacking it in place here. So I'm going to end up welding that the rest of the way to fix that little rust spot. And I cut the little, I don't think it's really going to matter, but I made it so it's like the right shape, but it's probably not going to really matter. But I did it anyway, just in case. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and weld that up. Well, I'm no professional welder or fabricator or nothing like that, but, you know, it ain't gonna come off, so. Alright, so it's the next day now. As you can see, last night I kind of put the new radiator support in. It's just kind of sitting there. It's not like, you know, there's nothing holding it in right now. But I wanted to show you guys the body mount bushings here, alright. I'm not sure if these are actually the right mounts, because I was watching a video, because this side is like, it's like really freaking tight. I mean, I can move it, but it's like really tight, and the other side is kind of, you know, not so tight. I was watching this video that some guy that had the same bushings. You see how I've got like 3 little lines here? The other guy only had 2. So maybe that's why it's so tight. Maybe these aren't the right bushings. I mean, they work, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know. But I'm just gonna continue as normal. It could also be because there's a big dent here, so it could be, I don't know. I don't think that would really throw it off that much though, because it's like a whole, I don't know, it's like a whole freaking ½ inch up on that side. So I don't know, maybe my frame's just tweaked or something, but I really couldn't tell you. So anyway, today we're gonna, you know, continue putting it all back together. And what I need to do, all right, since I cut out the bolts for down here, what I did on the orange truck, I took this, like, you know, because I had the body lift in this truck, so I couldn't really find bolts that were long enough. So I ended up buying this piece of like threaded rod, and I actually still have it. It's right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as our bolts, and we just gotta go buy some nuts to screw on there and kind of just make our own bolt. That's what I did with the orange truck. So we gotta go buy some nuts and some washers, and yeah, then we should be pretty much ready to put it all back together. There's some things that like some of the bolts that I took out, that had snapped first, like some small things. Might end up zip tying some stuff. I don't know, but we will see. Well, you know, we're probably actually gonna hit, we're definitely gonna hit 70,000 miles today. See that? Definitely gonna hit 70,000 today. It's been a long time coming. I remember when it passed 66,666.6. That was kind of scary. That was probably like, I don't know, a freaking year ago. At least, I don't know, maybe a little under a year, but. All right, 70,014, so we went 20 miles. I got my bolts. All right, I just got like a big pack of washers, and then I got like some bolts and stuff. So yeah, surprisingly enough, I didn't have anybody flip me off today, which is kind of, you know, interesting, I suppose. Yesterday I went out to go, I don't know, do a couple things. I had 2 people flip me off. I guess they don't like my truck. But today I had at least, I don't know, at least 10 or so that, you know, because everybody's out for the 4th and all, and they were all like, America, fuck yeah. So, anyway, I guess we're going to start doing this again. Alrighty. So I'm actually not going to do these first. All right, and yeah, I've got a bunch of zip ties. I'm going to need them. I'm not going to do these first. The bolts that we just went and got and whatever. I'm gonna do it kind of in the reverse way that I did when I took it apart. So I'm gonna start by putting on, like, you know, the hood latch, hooking the radiator all back up and everything. Then we could do, well, I know I did the bolts last time, but then we'll probably do the bolts, then the headlights and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start with just kind of putting all this shit back together, you know, the hood latch and whatever else. And thankfully, you know, I thought ahead and put everything in bags, and because there's like, I got like friggin' 6 more of these bags that are just full of bolts, so there'd be no way to, you know, even have any idea where stuff went if I didn't do that. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put stuff back where it was. All right, so we've got all these in. Now these, if you remember, you watched last video, I had to cut these, all right? So basically the clips in the back, like, they're gone. So I just zip tied them onto here. It's not gonna go anywhere. And it looks like it's moving, but it's just this freaking thing. So, this one might come off because there's really not much holding it. But yeah, it's good enough, you know. Hood latch is on. We're gonna have to kind of like line this up with these to make sure that it actually reaches with the latch up top. But we'll do that that's actually what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do these bolts. But anyway, this wiring harness is back in, radiator, everything else like that is all bolted to the radiator support. So next we're gonna line the hood up and stuff with the fenders and put all those bolts in, and then make sure that the hood latch works before we start putting other stuff in. So to line this up, it's really not that hard. Like, you can see where your old bolts used to sit. So I just put 2 in, 1 on each side. All right, and kind of got them lined up where they were. And really not a whole lot you have to, you know, worry about aligning and everything like that. So we've just got our bolts for that right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in. All right, next up is gonna be headlights. All right, so what I'm gonna plug all the bulbs in first. Well, actually, I gotta plug those bulbs in first. I didn't do that yet. And then I guess I'll show you. There's a bolt here and another bolt here, or well, a nut or whatever the hell you want to call them, that have to get put in as well. All right, well, it's starting to actually look like a truck again. I got the headlights in, you know, the grill, stuff like that. The gaps are pretty all right. You know, they're not exactly perfect. I think the grill could go to the left a little, but other than that, I'll get to that in a little bit. Now we're gonna do what I was holding off for a while. All right, the bolts, you know, for the radiator support down here. Those big bolts that we got to make. So we're gonna make some bolts, and I'll show you guys how I'm gonna make the bolts. And yeah. Hey, so we got our big piece of, you know, metal rod here. This is our lower bushing. So this fits underneath here. So that's gonna go on the bottom like that. All right. Now what we got to do is take our big piece of metal. All right. And bring it through and see how long we need to cut it. So I'll probably have it stick out, well, depending on how much I have, I'll have it stick out maybe about this far. So I'll probably end up cutting it probably somewhere like right here. That'll make 2 of those. Alright, so we're just going to take these here and just throw these on. And just going to hit them with a little bit of weld inside there. And then we got some bolts. And they're not exactly the same size, but you know, it doesn't really matter, so. Yeah. This isn't what they were originally used for, but they happen to fit perfect, and they're gonna work as a perfect washer or a spacer, whatever you want to call it. And then we got our bottom bolt down here that we're just gonna, you know, put some washers on and zip the nut on there. Well, it turns out that the bolts that I bought don't really fit. I mean, I could kind of tell when I stuck that weld in there that it didn't, it screws in a little bit but not a lot, so I got the wrong size. But this one I ended up getting it on with the impact. So I'm gonna change, because the thing is, like, I need one. Anyway, I went around and I found these, okay, and they're bigger, so they actually fit it. They fit it properly, and that one's really hot. So yeah, I kind of gotta retool my bolts a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna use these instead. Minor detail. So yeah, that feels really good right there. That's really fun. You're not gonna believe how I did that either. I was shutting the hood. That's, you know, trying to get the hood to line up right before I put the bolts in. Yeah, well, I got it to line up right, but I had a little bit too much force for my skin, and my skin kind of just came right off. Well, the radiator support is definitely changed. I just freaking, there's only one. I don't have time to do it today, but there's still those 2 bolts if you wanted to put that like lower trim piece on and then back up, put your bumper back on, whatever else. But that's where I'm gonna kind of stop this for today, because I gotta clean all this up, and then I don't know, I gotta go to the freaking grocery store before they close at 8 o'clock, and it's like 6:30 right now. So looks pretty good, you know. These obviously would be the holes that that lower, whatever they call it, trim piece goes on. But yeah, I was fighting with these bolts for like the last freaking hour. I ended up having to build another bolt because the one that I put in there freaking didn't work, and it was just, you know, not super good. Now I'd like to show you something. This is my dad's impact, okay, and yeah, it's kind of sitting in the dirt. So it was mine though. This one, it'll kind of slow down and, you know, stop when the bolts get tight. My Mac impact just freaking, like, you can see it bent the washer. It would have just kept pulling. Like, it didn't give a shit. Like, it would have just kept going. Like, like that one wasn't able to pull, like, I don't know. It wasn't even able to really, like, all right, the nuts aren't exactly the right size, you know, so they're kind of, you know, cross threading or whatever, or like making new threads. That one could not do it, and this one just was freaking going and going and going. Like, you can see this one's like, you know, probably how it should be, and the other one's freaking tight as hell. But whatever, this is the side that was tight anyway, so maybe making that smaller is gonna help. But yeah, suppose that's that. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys all for watching. If you're not subscribed, then I don't know, consider it, I guess. And we're gonna be doing the lift kit here in the next couple of weeks, I think, so stay tuned for that. My wheels, we'll see when the wheels get here, but they said they should be shipping them right about now, so that's really the only thing left that I need is the wheels. Plus I gotta make it run better. You know, it doesn't really run that great, but we'll get to that in due time. So anyway, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.